How's it going, everyone? Welcome to episode 10 of Scratch Social Golf Podcast. We've made it this far, 10 episodes, Emer. How are things?
Things are great, thanks, Paddy. It's been a good start to the week. We have lots of exciting news, and I just can't believe we've done this. This is our 10th time actually hitting record on this.
No, it's good crack. I look forward to it each week. We do a bit of prep over the weekend. I'm definitely staying a bit closer to the news on what's happening. So I actually have lots more to say at work. It is still about golf, but I've lots more informative conversations to have. And I find I'm actually asking a lot more of my golf friends and their opinions and stuff. So I'm actually talking to my friends more. So it's a win-win for me.
Amen. Yeah, me too. Me too. And it's good, like, just having so much extra knowledge when you are doing this research, because as you said, you do have more to say. Even last week, we'll talk through them, but when we saw actually that Golf Ireland had added these events, we sort of announced it before they announced it, we've realised now. So when they announced it, I was like, oh yeah, I know all the locations and I know the dates. We did a podcast on it. Sounds great.
No, it's good. But the biggest news, he is one of my favorite players in golf is kept back. Kept back. Hashtag kept back. Don't know if many people got that from our social media, but obviously we're both Man United fans. And when Pogba came back, there was a big thing with Adidas United about hashtag Pogback. But yeah, kept back. Brooks Koepka is back on the PGA Tour. Lots of conversation, lots of reaction. I love it though. I've missed his
Yeah, I think in my humble opinion, I think he was always going to come back. I could not see that man staying at Live. Like his performance, he did a documentary maybe a couple of years ago just on like his mental health and how that impacts his performance. And when you see his unfortunate poor form at Live, there's something way bigger going on there. And going back to the PGA Tour, you know what? His tail is in between his legs. He's had to pay a couple of fines and penalties and all that, which we'll get into. But my only opinion or thought on this is I actually don't think his penalties were enough, given what he probably made from Live Golf.
No, I agree. Like, he's a smart buck. So he was one of the early people to leave. Okay, so he was one of the first big names to leave. But I get it, right? Dodgy knee, was offered generational wealth. You know, it was upwards of 100 million is what I read. He's there 4 years. 4 years, that's quick 4 years. But part of his contract, I believe, I've been circling the golf WhatsApp groups and the Reddits of this world, is that he had like a get out 1 year in advance of, 1 year left in his contract. He'd like a get out of jail free. I can leave if I want to. No financial repercussions. So he's obviously pulled that lever. So that was a pretty smart move. I'd say Bryson is ruined that he doesn't have it in his because he's in the same predicament. He's got a year left. So yeah, there was a couple of stipulations on that. There was a new CEO in PGA Tour as of like halfway through last year. So he's obviously trying to get the big dogs back. So he made up a former member pathway. You can see him firing that into ChatGPT, can't you? But yeah, it was like if you've won a major or the players between 2022 and 2025. So straight away that rules out Phil Mickelson, who also has a lawsuit against the PGA Tour, as do 10 other live golfers, I found out. So if you won a major in the last 3 years, and I forget the other points, but basically that only applies to Brooks Koepka, Cam Smith, Bryson,
John,
Rambo. So they're the only players they want back, obviously. But yeah, part of it was he had to pay X amount to charity. I think the figure was $5 million. He's not allowed any equity in the PGA Tour. So PGA Tour members have a level of equity. They own their place or whatever part of the tour. So there's not any equity for 5 years, is it? It's
yeah,
a while. If he gets to the FedEx Cup finals and wins, he won't get the 18 million bonus. God help him. So yeah, I agree with you. Maybe they could have been more stringent on penalties. But look, at the end of the day, he's going to draw a lot of sponsorship. He's going to help lift some tournaments. He's not going to affect fields. So I actually read this morning he might actually be playing on his own a lot with markers at tournaments. Yeah, yeah. So I'd love to see how that pans out. It's not going to affect fields, so that's PGA Tour's way. It's not going to affect current PGA Tour members being able to participate in tournaments because Brooks is back. But yeah, very interesting. And they have a timeline on this former member pathway, which is the 2nd of February. Basically, a shout out to the other lads. There's a ticking time bomb here, but really, if Bryson comes back on Valentine's Day, the 14th of February, for all those fellas and women out there who celebrate that, we don't. In our house, we don't. It's a Hallmark holiday. But Bryson comes back like on my birthday, 3rd of March. I want back in, lads. Are they going to turn him away and say, "Oh, you missed the boat there, Bryson"? Don't think they will.
If you were to pick one player from that group, okay, I know you're saying Bryson. My gut feeling, if I was picking a player, would be John Ram.
100%. Yeah. Oh, 1,000,000%. Be around John Ram. One
Yeah.
million percent.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
look, we've 3 weeks to wait. I'm genuinely so excited. Imagine the bookies right now as well. Gamble safely if you're gambling. But like, yeah, it's made golf a little bit interesting as well while we're waiting for the PGA Tour to kick off, hasn't it?
It has. I think everyone's counting down the days to the couple of events Bryson's playing. So can't remember which ones, but the farmers, and then it's the ones he's back in for is the farmers. I think that's Torrey Pines. It's California anyway, and then the Waste Management in Arizona, the loudest tournament in golf, louder than Live.
I've been to the Waste Management.
Go away.
Yeah. Yeah. I went to the
Is
Waste
is
Management.
is it as much of a party as they say?
Yes. Now, I will tell you, the year I went was 2022 or 2023. Let me just have a quick look at my Instagram and I'll be able to see the exact date I was at the Waste Management. I'll tell you all about it. Oh my God. It was everything that you thought it would be. Yes. Like it's crazy. I'd say there's 150,000 people on site today.
While you're putting that up, you alluded to there that we kind of soft launched the extra events from Golf Ireland, which are, as you walked through in the last episode of your Irish golfing calendar for both women's and men's amateur events and pro events coming to the island. Just yesterday, when this podcast goes out, Golf Ireland officially unveiled a major step forward for the women's game of the country with a new National Women's Amateur Circuit launching this year. 4 flagship events. That is the South of Ireland Women's Open. That's in Blains Golf Club. The West of Ireland Women's Open at Castle Dargan. The East of Ireland Women's Open at Woodbrook. And the North of Ireland at Lough Erne. So all 4 are 54-hole stroke play events. So that's makes their world ranking eligible. And they're part of the new Bridgestone Women's Order of Merit. So yeah, really, really hugely positive initiative from Golf Ireland to create more elite competitive opportunities, stronger pathways for progression, and all in all, a bigger national platform for women's golf to grow and thrive. But yeah, I'm excited about that one now because a couple of them fall into my PTO as well. So hopefully you'll be able to bring Sophie in trouble, i.e. Paige, the 2-year-old, to a couple of those.
Yeah. And like, this was the gap, I think, in women's elite golf in Ireland. This was the gap. The men's championships, the provincial championships are like, a lot of people want to win the South of Ireland more than they want to win a Challenge Tour event.
Come here, I just want to play in it. It's like a career defining, as an amateur, to get to scratch is one thing, right? It's a serious accomplishment. But to say I've played in the West, or I've played in the North, or the the Irish amateur stroke, or the South of Ireland, that then you're not just scratch, you're a player.
Yeah.
So hopefully, I look forward to the women's championships getting to that same level, and that all comes down to people attending, people sharing it, the awareness that all then helps bring sponsorships on board and experiences for the golfers to be elevated, etc., etc. So yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And it would be really interesting to see, like, now that Golf Ireland is opening the floodgates for this, like, a lot of women who play golf, like myself, I just love playing the sport. I was never wanting to, nor good enough to turn pro or get any sort of level like that. But I really want to play good competitive golf. And if these championships are within my handicap range, which I would guess they probably are, give or take. Like, I don't think the handicaps are going to be as low as getting into the men's tournaments. So I think it's really exciting, and it's honestly opening another pathway for women's golf. It's going to impact the pro scene. It's going to impact the professional events here. It's amazing.
100%. And for anyone listening or watching, wherever you're taking this in, head to Golf Ireland's website, go to championships, and to find out if you can play in them, just click like enter here, and you'll be prompted to go onto golfgenius.ie set up your profile. It's free, and then you can see obviously the entry requirements for the set championships. Now some of them won't be open yet, but yeah, keep tabs on that and enter those that you can, and ask for forgiveness later. You may get into some draws, you may not get into others, dependent on average handicap of the field. But yeah, if you're not in, you can't win.
If you're not in, you can't win. That's brilliant. Well done, Golf Ireland. Okay, next on the list is very interesting. So, TW, the man that has changed the game of golf, Tiger Woods, turned 50. I think it was the day before my birthday, actually. Is it the 31st of December is his birthday?
And New Year's Eve, so he'd be goosed for like minor football or under
Yeah.
21 hurling. He'd be the young
I always,
he'd be the
I always,
youngest man in the team.
yeah, yeah. I always had that was a good thing about being born on the 1st of Jan. I always made the age. But look, couple of just interesting insights from Tiger's birthday. I didn't think he was a man to like go all out or, because he's quite strict with his routine. Everything is so clean and polished and perfect with him. But I suppose it's his 50th. It is literally Tiger Woods' world and we've been living in it. So, he can do what he wants. So his theme of like my jumper today, his theme of his birthday was red. And he asked guests to wear like a mandatory touch of red.
Red, yeah.
Nice.
I think I'll have that at my 40th. Touch of green, please, folks.
Nice, nice. And so Red, Celebrating Legacy, presented by EYUS. It featured John Bon Jovi. He sang at his birthday party, and a Masters Champions dinner inspired menu. Oh my God. Actually, speaking of Masters menus, that is one of the best things when the Masters come around. I love watching last year's Champions menu and seeing
Oh
what I'd
yeah,
eat and what I wouldn't eat.
absolutely. Can't wait to see what Rory rolls up with in 90 odd days' time. Part of his birthday was he had 300 guests and a $50 million fundraising goal for his foundation. So when you say about everything about his persona is prim and proper, well, in front of closed doors in the public eye, like even his birthday parties have like sponsors and KPIs. It's mad.
Yeah, well, look, he's using his power for good, so he's absolutely dead right.
So we'll take Augusta menu, like Masters menu, and Masters Week. We'll definitely have a Masters themed episode. So yeah, we'll keep that for what would be on your menu, 1,000,000% for then. But since you mentioned it, I didn't know, or like I didn't think the Masters committee would like open the gates a little bit to streaming services. But Prime officially takes Augusta early this year. Um, Amazon Prime Video will stream the first and second round early, 2 hours before TV. So 1 to 3 p.m. local time. So we're 5 hours ahead or thereabouts. But yeah, an extra couple of hours. So if you have an Amazon Prime account or the streaming services are available, but Amazon, if you want to sponsor us, fire away. Yeah, so an extra 2 hours on Amazon. Who doesn't want that? Who doesn't want that for golf fans everywhere? An extra 2 hours of Augusta National on our TV screen.
I think the production around the Masters is the best TV production, best sporting production, better than the Super Bowl. However, they have decided to tell the story. It is if you're not into golf, or if you have a friend or family member, wife, husband, whatever, who's not into golf, just watch the Masters because it is one of the most incredibly put together storytelling. You're going on this journey for the 4 days. It's insane. It's amazing.
Insane. Couple things about the Masters. So the best book you can read is Making of the Masters. I don't know if I have it. No, it's up home in Kilfernora. Making of the Masters. John Feinstein wrote it. So that gives you the history, the who's who, everything from like pre-war. A friend of mine has been on site at the Masters, 20 plus times. So comes back with loads of good stories. First of all, do you know in the Masters, you don't see any cables in the ground? Do you know, like if you're on tour or at an event, there'll be like cables going down. Sometimes both sides of the fairways, around trees, the whole lot, miles and miles and miles of cables. In Augusta National, the TV crews just come up, the infrastructure just come up and plug in at the tee box. They're like, open up a thing of turf, and like the cable points are there. Done. The Masters app, you can select your favorites on it, and then you can watch every single one of those your player shots. You never miss. So the Masters coverage is even better than TV coverage because they've access to all the cameras first, right? To give you an idea of the programming power that they have, I don't know if it was a post-COVID, it was like the November Masters. They had the new. I've never been there, but I have loads of information. But they opened up a new media center. I think it was post-COVID, and just to give you an idea of how robust their setup is, not only did they broadcast the Masters from there, but also in their spare time they broadcast. I think it was a college football game from there. So like, yeah, it's ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. Levels of capacity and bandwidth there in Augusta National. But no more. But the Hooters is gone, so John Daly is down 800 grand that given week. But I hear that the place across the road is sorting them out. What else have we? Have you ever been to the Masters, Emer?
No, never been to the Masters. Been to the PGA Championship, been to the Waste Management February 2023. That was, you know what? When the Waste Management is on, I will tell you all about the Waste Management because I was on that 16th hole. I was there. I was there for the beer throwing. We nearly had a hole in one. It didn't happen, but the beer was still thrown. So I'll tell you all about that in February when the Waste Management was on. But no, never been to the Masters. Hope to go in the next couple of years for sure.
In the big 4-0 next year. So hint, hint, Mrs. Lynch. Yeah, sorted out.
Nice, nice. Okay, so just in a couple of other news. So new TGL, Technical Golf League, which we're all enjoying, which actually we genuinely are enjoying. My work colleagues are watching it now and we're actually chatting about it. So it's starting to stick, isn't it?
Absolutely. So I have it on obviously Sunday evenings and it rolls into maybe Monday or Tuesday evening. And when I come home from work or when I click the girls, I might pop it onto YouTube, onto the TGL YouTube channel and just watch the highlights from the matches. So now it's become like almost an evening routine the past week. The girls come in, they're like, can we watch Wowie, which is the 2-year-old? We watch Wowie. So we're on YouTube watching TGL. And Sophie's 5, she's like, can we watch the golf that's inside with the points? So you can see there straight away, kids just get it straight away because it's quicker, it's an easier to watch format, and totally into it, right? So yeah, I'm delighted about the WTGL launch. I do think though, they missed a beat there when they originally formed TGL, that it should have been both. It should have been men's and women's mixed teams. Because I think that would have brought more eyes onto the women's game by having them there playing together as mixed teams and showcase the formats you can play, etc. So I think they missed something there by not doing it
I
together
agree.
at that time. It is good to see WTGL, but I hate that it's separate, that it's WTGL, and there's still that line between the sexes or whatever. Because even like Good Golf, right? They launched a women's Good, or no, they called it girls Good Girls or something.
Yes.
But again, it's totally separate. So they're not leveraging their own audience really properly for like to elevate the women's game, because I don't think it should need to be elevated. I think they should just be at that same level. But yeah, it's good that it's here. It's debuting next winter. So all a bit after the fact, if is my own personal opinion, as we used to write, say in Leaving Cert English. But yeah, that's just my take on it. Really, really good, but could have been really, really great.
I hear you. To be honest, I couldn't have said that better myself. And for me, it's actually crazy. As a woman, it was an afterthought for me. So, respect. Thank you for flagging that. I think a lot of people, most people will agree with you. Maybe in their case, they were just seeing if it would work. I don't know.
Fair. Then make it mix now. Hey Rory, Serena, Venus Williams, you've back in Tomorrow Sports, which is the people behind TGL. I'm calling you out like a good Munster person would, and saying from 26, 27, make it mixed, make it TGL golf, because golf is for everyone. No need to separate and have mixed teams and etc. etc.
Yeah,
Because they're going to listen to me, obviously.
agree. Yeah, agree. No, honestly, people do listen, so this is good. But anyway, I think that's probably enough golf news for today. We are so happy and excited that we now have like member questions, emails, DMs, whatever it is. So we have a few to run through on the podcast today. And if you've sent in a message or a DM and we haven't chatted through this today. That doesn't mean we're not going to. It will just feature on a later episode.
Absolutely. So, friend of the podcast, isn't it great to say that? Friend of the podcast, Ruth, has a progress report. So, you have to listen back, I think, to episode 7, maybe, when we shared this first. So, Ruth emailed us at podcast@scratchsocialhq.com. Just a quick follow up, loving the show, and just want to say thanks for answering all my questions, which we duly did. Regarding the gym, I got an assessment from Robbie Cannon, as recommended, and can't rate him highly enough. Plan is in place, so here's to a handicap in spring.
That's me clapping
There
for
we
you,
go.
Ruth.
And just to give you context, that just shows. So Ruth is new enough to golf, is pretty serious about it. I would say Ruth could be playing those championships in 2027 if that's the progress, if that's the graph she's on. But Robbie Cannon is Shane Lowry's SNC coach. Robbie Cannon is in Dubai Creek this week as part of Shane's team. Last week, he was with Ruth Gill, the beginner. So he is open for business, folks. Get from the best in the world. The best in the world. So yeah, thank you, Ruth. Keep sending in your questions as you continue your golfing journey. Would love to have you on someday. Maybe halfway through the year we'll get you on the show live or somewhat live for a chat. Kevin's email came in at 11:54 p.m. on New Year's Eve, 6 minutes before the fireworks.
That is a man with a plan for 2026.
He was just getting ahead of it. So I think some of his questions will resonate with people who are trying to get better and so I'll read the email. I'll say good evening despite it being near midnight on New Year's Eve, but the wife and baby are sleeping and I'm writing up my 2026 golf goals and wanted your input on how you would typically set your goals for the year ahead. What categories, how granular, how aspirational should one go? Yes, he did say it in the third person. Also, would love to hear your thoughts on my particular situation, as I'm sure there are loads out there where your advice would apply. So Kevin is a 19 handicap, has played golf in some capacity for nearly 20 years, but he only has a handicap for 3 years. Feel like he has a ceiling to play to a sub 10 handicap, but my floor is still atrocious for someone who thinks they have a 10 handicap in them. I'll admit I have fallen into a trap of just playing when I can, mostly weekend competition rounds in the club, and not put anywhere near enough practice in between rounds. So yeah, would love to hear about how you would both try and tackle this situation if we were in that spot again. Loving the podcast since you launched as well. Some great content and conversation so far. So thank you, Kevin. Emer, what would you do? What's your handicap right now, by the way?
My handicap is 6.2.
6.2 and a 1.9. Okay, but both at one stage played off 19. So what would you do if you were in Kevin's shoes?
I am in Kevin's shoes right now. So it was actually really refreshing to read the email because even before we started this podcast, one of the things I wanted to take from this was how the hell do I get better at golf and how do I practice better? Don't have too much time to be going to the range all the time or the golf course. So Kevin, I would say it's baby steps and there's two. I don't know, Patty, you might be able to answer this better, but like putting, 3 putting and 4 putting lets most amateurs, mid-handicappers down. So let's just start at home with the putting. A very simple ladder drill. Count how many putts you can make from 3 feet, from 6 feet, from 9 feet, from 12 feet, and then practice your distance control on a carpet. When you get to playing in the summer, golf course condition in Ireland in most courses is actually quite good. The greens are quite good on 95% of the courses. So, practice at home. So I would say that. And then I would say the second thing to improve your handicap, which my lovely co-host Paddy is doing every single day in January, is improving your mobility. These 2 actions straight away, if you are short on time, I personally think I'm doing them myself, are going to shave a couple of shots off your handicap, even if you're only playing once a month.
I agree with you. And we're on, as of today, Wednesday, the 14th of January, when this goes out, I'll have done the 14th day in a row. And it's funny, I know the girls come up a lot, but now, when I bring the girls home, they shout out, Daddy, do your exercises? Because they have great fun as well. They get down, they move around a bit. So it's like a big game. So 5 minutes is very quickly turned into 10 minutes of a 5-minute minimum on that. So there are little steps. How I'd approach it is I'd find a pro. I'd find a PGA professional, ideally close. So I know where Kevin lives because it's on his email. So he has, as most people do in Ireland, to a myriad of professionals within 20 minutes drive of his house. Okay. I just changed course myself. So I was with Niall McLean for 6 years in Golf Ireland Academy. I can't rate him highly enough. Got me from 12 to 1.9, for God's sake. So, reason being, I have a job, I have a wife, 3 kids, 2 podcasts, gone every weekend. So, the 40 minutes to get to Maynooth, the lesson, and the 40 minutes back was actually a lot of time out of my not a lot of time life. So, it actually happened when I had Ryan Gribben on my own podcast, and we had a bit of a chat afterwards. And he said, "Come up and have a look." And he's 8 minutes away. I was working from home yesterday and I went up at lunchtime. 8 minutes. It took me for 25 minutes, 8 minutes back. Still had time to eat the ready meal. Do you know what I mean? So I would recommend PGA Pro and read out that mail to him or her. Afterthought, my mistake. PGA Professional, be it a man or a woman. And it's like, I want to get to 9.4 or better, or you think there's a 10, I want to get to 10. How do we do that? This is the amount of time I have to practice. I generally play competition at the weekend. So let's make a plan here. That's what I'd recommend. And good pros would love that. Love a framework, love a plan, love a strategy, and then know that you're committed and know that they can bank on you and put the lessons into the diary with that PGA professional at the end of that meeting, that 20-minute coffee or whatever, and then treat it like an appointment. Because once it's in the diary for me, it has to happen. So put them in the diary. And the same with your practice. Put your practice in the diary and treat it like an appointment. So yeah, that'll be my recommendation. Very simple. Don't feel like you have to go to the nearest PGA professional. Have a chat with 2 or 3 if you need to. You'll be spending money. So make sure it's someone you get on with. Ask them how they coach. Do they coach technical, like P1, P2, P3? Do you want technical, Kevin? Do you want just move your left pocket back out of the way? Do you want more field stuff? So yeah, that's what I would recommend.
Paddy, I totally agree. That's actually such good advice, and more of us need to take it. Yeah, thanks, Kevin. Look, I agree. If you are time poor, just book that in as an appointment, as Paddy said, and definitely focus on the mobility. So check out what Paddy is doing on Instagram at Paddy Talks Golf, and yeah, you'll be able to swing it a bit better, because when you're swinging freely, you're just more confident. It really, really helps, and it does sound like you have a sub 10 handicap in you. So just focus on the small things and get yourself a coach as and when you can.
Absolutely. Noeleen Burns sent us in a really good message, Emer.
Yeah, I really liked this. So Noeleen Burns sent us a message on our Scratch Social HQ Instagram page, and she's looking for a bit of advice around competition. So I'll read this out. Hi, Paddy and Emer, loving the podcast every week. Just looking for a bit of advice around competitions. I play in the same local club and play in a few teams every year for the club, which is great, but nothing really outside of the club. Wondering, might you guys have any suggestions for a 14 handicap range for competitions throughout the year that I should be looking into playing? Or is it really just a case of checking out open competitions in other clubs and playing in those? I'm a bit lost when it comes to anything outside of the own club. I'm a member of the Heath Golf Club in Laois, absolutely willing to travel and preferably singles competitions. She wants to get the handicap down. It's just becoming a little bit monotonous playing in the same competitions. She's wondering if that's the way to go, or with the open competitions, or do we have another approach? My gut and my instinct, for me personally, Paddy, you're way more experienced at this than me, but I would say open competitions are the way to go. I don't really know how else she would access the competition circuit around Ireland.
No, I agree. So it'll be open competition. And this was even like messages I get sometimes off lads in like 12 handicaps, 14 handicaps, is that you hear Scratch Cup, you think, oh, that's Scratch golfers. It's not. It's senior Scratch Cups, which are for the Scratch golfers. It's not senior as in senior citizen. It's like senior cup team. You have junior cup team in most likely Noeleen plays junior cup if that's her handicap. And that's like a bracket of Scratch Cup. So you have a junior Scratch Cup and that's generally 2.5, 6 or 7-ish. Then you have intermediate Scratch Cup, which tends to be 7 out to 16 maybe, or maybe even a bit higher. So Scratch Cups on Instagram together a Google sheet for all the scratch cups of all the levels, senior, junior, intermediate, up to mid-ams. So we'll have a link to scratch cups in the show notes. I'll be sure to remember that one. And after that, it would be open competitions, 100%. Rosapenna run competitions all throughout the year, 2 days and 3 days. So check out their website as well.
Yeah, and I would actually add to that, Noeleen, if you are going to play or going to enter into a competition, just let us know because we can put a post out on our channels because there's most likely other women, including myself, who want to travel around and play these competitions. So I'm so happy to, if it works out for us, that we can play a competition together, meet up, have a coffee. Yeah. So thank you, Noeleen. Once you have a look at the scratch cups, just keep us posted. As you know, it's January. We're focusing on our bucket list courses amongst our €50 courses, our underrated courses. So, Paddy, this week, what is your bucket list course for 2026?
Tralee Golf Links. Tralee Golf Links down in Banna, just out past Phoenix in Kerry, the Kingdom. Maybe this weekend we'll go for 3 out of 3 in senior men's All Ireland football competitions. But yeah, it's hosting the Arnold Palmer Cup this year. It's had lots of course changes since 2019 in terms of the famous quote is from Arnold Palmer himself is, "I designed the front nine and God designed the back nine," right? Now, that was somewhat true in terms of the front nine was grand. And then the back nine was blow your head off, insanely good. From being around the club, because Christopher's an academy member, but I've been going out to Tralee Golf Club to meet my friends who I play football with, etc. when I lived down there. I was never a member there, but I've been lucky enough to play it a number of times. I've played it maybe 2 or 3 times since 2019. I haven't played it in 3 or 4 years, but there has been lots of incredible, progressive change to front nine and some tweaks on the God created back nine. But yeah, let me think. Rebunkering on 1, changes on 2, changes on 4. So yeah, 6 or 7 of the front 9 are changed. Some of them drastically. They have a brand new 6th hole, which is completely like elevates the 6th hole as it was before. I can't rate it high enough. It's in. If you ask me what's in my top 5 golf clubs in the country to play, if I'd like a bigger wallet than I have, Tralee Golf Links would be in it. So yeah, bucket list for sure. And I'll be tapping up a couple of the footballers I used to play with to ensure that you're not talking to me this time next year and Tralee Golf Links isn't stamped off my list.
No, I agree. It's one of my favorite courses in Ireland. I've been lucky enough to play it a couple of times now in the last few years, and my next trip is on the 13th of April with Kev. So I will report back. We'll be doing a podcast anyway that night. So I'll be fresh off the course and I'll give you an update.
That will be a full Tralee Golf Links review episode coming in April.
Yes. Yes, the week before the Masters. Is it, or the week of the Masters?
It might be the week of the Masters. Yeah, I'll be a week back from America that week. Come here to me. Golf course under €50 this week, Emer.
This one is very interesting because it's a course that neither of us have played, but one of our listeners, Michael Waters, sent us in a recommendation for this. It's a golf course up in County Armagh and it's called Clover Hill, if anybody has ever heard of it. It is supposed to be absolutely stunning. It's only £25 for a round, and it's actually done the rounds on TikTok as being one of the most hidden gems up in the north side of Ireland. So I can't say that myself or Paddy have played it, but we've been looking at it. We've been watching the TikToks that Michael sent on, and he said 100% you guys have to go and see this. And there's also probably one of the most beautiful par threes in the whole island of Ireland is on this golf course. And there's another guy on TikTok called Mulligan Club, and he did a really cool video on this. So it's Clover Hill Golf Club, hole 9, 141 yards. You're hitting across a lake, side of like a hill or a mountain or something. We'll clip it onto a social media clip here so everybody can see. But Clover Hill, highly recommend. £25, under €50. Go to it.
The €50 would cover the green fee and the diesel to go up and down, I'd say.
I love that. Let's actually have a segment even of like a golf trip for €100. How far you could get from A to B, plus the hot chicken roll.
What's that hot chicken roll? 100%. It'll be an all real nutrition protein bar I'd be getting, or a cheeky Zembrero, beef only burrito. It's that time again. Up and down of the week. It belongs in a t-shirt and a mug. Eamon McManus, what is your up and down of the week?
So my up is that I found a new cubby to practice my golf in. At Limerick Golf Club have opened up this it's actually been open for ages. I just didn't know it was there. In their games room, they have a full TrackMan, like bay studio, and that's only 10 minutes from me. So I'm really looking forward to practicing a lot in there in the next couple of weeks. I will have my swing speed for you, and I'm very excited about that. So that's where I'm going to base myself while the weather is quite bad. And my down is I've been just staying up too late scrolling, doom scrolling. Now I enjoy it because I work so hard during the day and sometimes I just need my fix in the night, but I'm staying up a little bit too late.
No, I would be a doom scroller, especially when like my wife would be away, maybe on a night out or whatever, and I'm just there scrolling away, bang off the head, and I need to put it down. But generally, we've good practice that the phones are left on the island downstairs, and we actually have alarm clocks. You know those things you had as a kid, a clock with a button on it. So that's definitely helped the sleep performance. And the whoop transitions nice to my up of the week. Is my whoop age is down 0.3 years in the 13 days. Well, today would be 14 days, so I wanted to change one to the day. But in the 14 days of January, since I'm tracking everything and going to the gym, I've done 2 runs in the 2 or bit weeks so far. So we're on track for those long-term goals and putting the scissors behind it. But I didn't think it'd have that quick of an impact. I thought it would take a number of months of relative change. So good to see that, long-term habits, maybe not moving too much, when turned around, actually has a quick impact of change like that. So that's one of the reasons I've invested in Hoop. Like, as in, I pay the money subscription. I don't invest in stocks. That's not me. But the reason I pay the money is for that level of insight into what my body is doing. The goal is still to get down to 2 years younger by the end of the year. I ain't no Spencer. I ain't going to be like 12 years younger, or the CEO of Whoop who's like 8 years younger. But isn't it really cool that you can have tech just to get a view of like, of that? I'm 38, near 39, but actually you're moving around like a 38.8-year-old.
Yeah. And you know what? You can feel it as well. Like it's actually going to be so good for us in particular we've adopted this technology now because like if you've any future health, heart problems or whatever, if your body temperature changes, if your pace of your heartbeat changes, whatever it is, we'll hopefully be able to catch it before it's too late. So yeah, I've been wearing Whoop for 4 years. So I've really seen the upgrade in technology over this time. So I wonder what's next. But yeah, super. And well done on your anti-aging. It's great.
Oh yeah, my anti-aging routine. It's really cool though because my manager at work has one. So with the whole like return to office for 4.5 days a week, instead of ringing in sick, I just take a screenshot of my recovery score. And I said he was like, not feeling the best. And he gets it. He's like, yeah, you stay at home, man. Like, you're good. And even when I'm not like recovered, I like, one of my 5 baselines, like my skin temperature is irregularly high. Must be getting something soon. Send him a screenshot. No, you should definitely stay at home because he's a Hoop user as well. So
Love that.
that's a good one. My down this week is still kind of health related. Everyone thinks 10K steps is the magic number, but if you're only doing 2 to 3 a day, then that's too lofties. Hoop coach said, aim for between 7 and 8 for the next few weeks. Struggling to get to 7. I'm always there. The average across the week is 6 and a bit. I'm doing a few strategic walks around the office at work. But it looks like I have to be going up and down to the Dunn stores as well to get a bottle of water or something. So just something I'm aware of that I need to just fine tune that little bit more and go for that extra 10-minute walk to get the steps in because I'm of that kind of body composition and metabolism that I need to be the 3-legged stool of calories, steps, cardio, and workouts all need to be working if I need to see results. So just need to fine tune that bit and we're good to go.
Definitely. But you're making progress and that's the main thing. So well done.
Every day, hopefully.
So that wraps up episode 10 of Scratch Social. That was a good one. It's been emotional, Paddy. I'm looking forward to episode 11 next week because so much happens in the world of golf, we have realised since having this podcast. So from me, Emer,
And me, Paddy.
good luck and thanks.